Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I don't think Roger's, I don't think he's camera shy, but he's, I don't know. Anyway, this is our first video, official video of a year of self-discovery is what we're going to call it. And I wanted to cover why are we doing this and why now? And what we're doing exactly. So what we're doing is going back to re-establishing a new relationship and going back to being friends because of my trauma and his trauma. When we got together at 15 and 17, we did not bond in a healthy way. We had enmeshment, we had codependency.
Have codependency.
Yeah, I was going to say those are things that we're still looking at in this journey, being aware of. That's a big piece in all of this, is having the awareness each day of what we're feeling and what's happening and what's going on. Why are we doing it? Because we as a couple want to thrive in our individual lives and in our relationship with one another. And I have found, and you can speak in a second, I have found for me that trying to repair our relationship, my life, my relationship with myself, the ways that I've been doing it has not been working. I can wish all day long that I'm going to want to be intimate with my husband, and it doesn't work like that. So I've delved into, is that the right word? I have gone into looking, educating myself on trauma bonding, and I wanted to make a point that the trauma bonding, he is not my abuser. If you look up the definition of trauma bonding, it would be a bond that I had with my abuser or abusers, because I had many. Neither were my parents. My parents were not my abusers. It was babysitters. It was a 5th grade teacher. It was friends of the family that would come to parties when I was little. It was the babysitter at the place where Susan and I went to be babysat while my parents went to work. And
that was literally sex trafficking, just to be clear.
Yes, I figured that out in the SART training that I had, that's exactly what was happening to us, which I don't know. You're ready to learn things when you're ready to learn things, and I just never had put that term on what was going on at the babysitter's house. And so we want to take our relationship way beyond where it's at right now. And so we have agreed that there is some individuation that needs to take place before we can do that. And so that's why we're doing this. And why are we doing the videos? Why are we sharing with the world, whoever watches my channel? And that is because I'm a teacher, and I think he's coming in to learn that he's a teacher, and that we would like to be able to help other people that are in our place. I do not believe that there is a book that is written for couples that, whether you've been married for 2 years or you've been married for 35 years, if you got together and there's trauma on either side, probably the relationship is not as healthy as it could be. I'm not saying it's not healthy. A lot of people have healthy relationships, but ours is not, and we need to do some work and then come together at on the other side in a year. We're planning on taking a year. We don't know what that involves. We're totally going into this in a kind of blind, let's try this out. Um, so we're sharing in hopes that it'll help other people. And I'm hoping that whoever finds this helpful, that you share it with the people in your life that you think that it could help. We've got two books here, and we're actually probably going to write our own book of this journey, because we haven't found any books yet that talk about couples that want to stay together. They need to individuate, which means separate and do their own individuation and then come back together. This book here, this Conscious Uncoupling book, and I know it's backwards to you guys.
Yes, it is.
But this book, he's been reading more of it. We kind of read some today together. This is about divorce and permanently uncoupling. That's not what we want to do. So we haven't yet found a book, but then this book was on my...
Can I say something?
So, yeah, go ahead.
So this book just happened to... I saw it this morning on Amelia's bookshelf, and it's called The 7 Secrets to Healthy, Happy Relationships, and it's Don Miguel Ruiz, which is the four agreements, yeah, and then also Heather Ashamara, who
I've
Amelia has studied with. She does that warrior goddess training stuff. So anyway, so this book literally, I told Amelia yesterday I read probably a third of that other book, and it did not resonate necessarily in spots because it's obviously written with the whole idea of separating kindly, but separating permanently. And that's not our goal. One of the things that I've become aware of in the past 15 years of hoping that our relationship was going to get better is it doesn't matter what I do. I'm a male. Amelia sees me as a male because I am, and her trauma is with males.
Mostly. There were females,
but for the most part, she doesn't like men. Ironic that we have 4 boys. It's just one of those little twists of fate. But the bottom line is, as much as I have hoped that things were going to get better, there has always been that edge when she deals with me. And that's something that I've kind of learned to accept. It's not great when you have low self-esteem, which is something I've suffered with. Had a father that was not real great at building self-esteem. And so anyway, that's part of my trauma issues. And so what our goal is, I want her to become a self-empowered woman. I want to become more self-empowered myself. In and of myself, we have certainly got some codependency issues. Yeah. But when I picked this book up this morning and we started reading some of it, it resonates a lot more with where we want to go, while both of them together kind of...
And we're committed to read both.
Yeah, we'll read both of them. Well, it's not, that one, I don't think it would take either one of them a couple, 4 or 5 hours, either one of them. But anyway, the bottom line is our goal is at the end of this year, which sounds like an awful long time to me because I've been waiting for a long time as it is to have the connection that I want with Amelia.
I've been waiting my whole life.
And so at the same time, a year is like, well, if we can make headway, and yes, I think there is a book in this because we don't want to be separate. We're 35 years into this thing. And yeah. And we are a pretty good couple. We're very good. I mean, we're friends. We like sharing, the outdoors and the connection with the area that we live.
Our spirituality is the
Our
same.
spirituality, the Native American spirituality with the smudge, and
We
uh,
meditate together.
yeah. So there's a lot of things we just want to continue. Um, we need to individuate and go from there. And
Yeah.
you wanted to read.
Be able to come back, yeah, out of this 7 secrets to healthy, happy relationships. The very beginning of this, uh, in the introduction, it says, "And will I tell you that these three lived happily ever after? I will not. But there was happiness, and they did live." And that was a Stephen King quote. So happily ever after. And Roger said that she covered it in this other book too. That idea of happily ever after, and it's a fantasy that we've all bought into. And if that's our standard, and then we never reach that, it's no wonder there's so many unhappy couples and divorces and separations in the world. Happily ever after. It is with these three little words that an entire universe of expectations about relationships is created. Through this fairy tale concept and others like it, the idea is planted in our minds that once we have a committed relationship, our lives will be grand. Everything will be perfect, and we will have finally arrived at our destination. But of course, we all know relationships are a bit more complicated than that. As human beings, most of us yearn for fulfilling relationships, as they are an integral part of our journey. They provide unlimited ways for us to learn, grow, thrive, and have fun, as well as serve as the foundation on which most of us build a family and community. Yet, as we know, relationships are not always a bed of roses. Romantic relationships can take us from sublime ecstasy to the deepest despair with just a word or look from our beloved. They can lift us to great heights of clarity, passion, and open heartedness, or drop us suddenly into a pit filled with the fear, grief, confusion, and judgment. Romantic relationships can prove especially challenging in these changing times. The institution of marriage began as a financial and social arrangement and was not focused on love. Even in our modern times, it was not very long ago that we had distinct gender roles within a relationship. It is it was idolized that women would stay home and take care of the kids and household while men worked to provide for the family financially. It's easy to see where these roles can fall apart. Not only are they inherently stereotypical and unfair, but they were also class discriminatory, since usually only upper middle class and upper class families could afford to have only one parent providing a source of income. Even when both parents had to work, employment opportunities were and can still be highly gendered. While these rigid definitions of relationships did not bring happiness, they did bring a kind of familiar stability and continuity. Today, we are entering a whole new world of relationships, particularly romantic relationships. While we can appreciate the beauty of a vast frontier with no rules, we must also face the challenge of very little guidance or support about how we might behave. For this reason, we usually end up unconsciously dragging the old rules and expectations of our parents' culture and religion into our relationships, whether or not we consciously agree with them. We choose partners in a flush of hormones and possibility, only to find that when the spark of new love dissipates, we have no idea how to communicate or navigate the challenges that arise. And because we are not taught how to be creative, curious artists of relationships, we get bogged down in our expectations and play out the same patterns and conflicts even as the relationships themselves change. So that's just the a little part of the introduction. And those of you that are going to follow us on this journey this year, you might want to get this book. And you might, if you're one that has gone through a divorce and still suffer with power struggles and hating your ex, and all kinds of different you might want to get that book. But we decided that we were gonna post a video every other Friday. So if there's two Fridays in a month, then we'll post on those 2 Fridays. If there's three, then we will post every other Friday as a check-in. One to keep you all informed, but also one to keep us on that trek, because as we all know, it's easy to set a goal, and then if you don't have something that you're working towards every day towards that goal, you tend to lose that goal, and you lose sight of what it is you're wanting to do. And then we end up, and it's December 1st of 2021, and we really haven't done anything other than what we've always done.
No.
And that's
We're
not
not
what
going
either
there.
one of us want to do. So we have to keep ourselves on a schedule and keep ourselves moving forward and growing and changing and doing the hard work. And that's the other thing that I wanted to mention, is that these videos are going to be honest about how we're feeling and how we're doing. And some of that is going to be hard. It's going to be hard feeling work. And what we'll do is do a check-in every 2 weeks as to how those 2 weeks are going. We didn't think that every week, but we may find as we go along, because we may find that every week
All of
we
you
may
people
need
out
to,
there may want us to be here every week.
yeah,
You never know.
put a comment below, subscribe to the channel. This is just going to be a different playlist on Amelia's diary, and hopefully you guys will share it and like it and subscribe, and get the word out that this is. And even if you're not married right now, or if you're single and you've never been married and you don't have anybody on the horizon, this is good information to have before you get into a relationship and get married. And I just hope that this year, that this topic and this journey that we're on can help other people as we're helping ourselves. So.
Yep, that's the goal.
Was there anything else that we wanted to? We do
You had
have
a couple of notes.
We do have a notebook. So it's called A Year of Self-Discovery, and that'll be in the post every Friday. Our goal is to be honest.
So the interesting thing about the year of self-discovery, I just took a trip up to the Northeast and went past the place where Henry David Thoreau went with when he did the Walden Pond
Writing.
self-discovery writing. And so that's kind of it seems like that's a real good a good
descriptive.
Yeah, a good description. The year of self-discovery, which is basically what Walden Pond was for him. So anyway, just a side note.
Yeah, that's where the name came from.
Is there anything else that we had down there?
No, conscious engagement and connection. This was part of what he wrote from what we were reading today. And that's what it is conscious engagement. That's what we want to be doing with each other. Relationships are one of the most powerful catalysts for personal growth.
Yeah.
So we're looking to improve ours individually and then together. And like I told him this morning, it may, in 6 months, we may decide we want to recouple, so to speak, and that we've done, most of our individualized work, and we're ready to try out something different. And you guys will be, informed of that as we go along. So nothing is written in stone, and we'll just take it one day at a time and move forward.
And one thing that I want to say that both Amelia and I went through the New Warriors Mankind Project weekend in 1997. So I've been on a path of discovery for a long time, but that work didn't really, it may have been, I'm sure it's improved our relationship some. Who knows, I might not even be here. Yeah. But the bottom line is the angst between us is there, even though all that, and Amelia has done an immense, those of you that know her, she's done an immense amount of self-discovery and personal work. And it's just time to, I think the big thing is that if we can get past the codependency, and do the fine tuning, if you will. I like to think of it fine tuning, but then, like my friend Mel says, you're never done with your work. Which
no, I think
I don't know if that's true, but
I think this journey for most of the human beings
on this planet, that's not
or,
true. We can get done with it, but
no, I don't think
I don't
it's
know
ever
that
done.
we ever will. So
I think this life journey on this planet at this time is all about self-discovery and suffering and coming through that suffering and being successful and the struggle. My life has been struggle from day 1 up to now, day 56. And what I've learned
year 56.
in the last... What?
You said day 56. It's year 56.
Well, sorry. I am 56 years old.
Yes, I knew what you meant.
And in the last couple of years, step towards the struggle. Step into the struggle instead of resisting it and putting my hands up and putting my feet in the ground and going, no. Just lean into it and feel my feelings around everything in my life. So,
and it would be easier if we could just get drunk every Friday night and
been there, done that. That's not
do all those kind of do all those kind of distractions. Or hey, we could eat enough so that we're both 350 pounds. Oh,
yeah,
been there, done that. Got the T-shirt. So
not doing
we
that
figure it's
either.
time to be authentic. Before we started this video, we smudged and
I think it's still.
Oh yeah, it's probably still. I don't know.
But
it
it's
was burning
awfully. If
pretty
it's
good.
cloudy in the picture, then it's because of the smudge.
Yeah. Anyway.
So here we go.
I'm good.
Leave your comments below. I will try and respond, and I'll teach Roger how to do and respond. And although he's getting pretty good with my.
Oh yeah, she gets 2 things.
Videos,
yeah, it's pretty slow. So I'm slow. In that regard.
He's learning. It's okay. All right, so we will see you all. This is a Sunday, so maybe we'll post a video this coming Friday, and then we'll go from there every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And let us know your thoughts. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Peace out.